Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Deckinaround Kickstarter Edition. Today we're going to be taking a look at the new decks that came up on Kickstarter last week, any decks that successfully funded last week, and then any decks that are going to be ending in the upcoming week. But before we do, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel.
Don't forget to ring the bell.
So let's jump into it, guys. Congratulations to the Grandmasters XCM Edition playing cards that successfully funded last week. Congratulations to Ito Karuta playing cards, which successfully funded. Congratulations to Alchemy playing cards that will have funded once this goes live. And congratulations to Leafs playing cards Spring Edition, which will also have funded by the time this goes live. And then in the upcoming week, we have the Bicycle Stellar playing cards that will be closing their round of funding. The Apocalypse playing cards, which will be closing their round of funding.
Good Lord, 50 grand.
The Angels and Demons art playing cards. The Strain Wars collage deck playing cards. The Legendary playing cards in 4 directions. The History Boxed Learning Made Fun playing cards. And the playing cards inspired by Pennywise. So let's take a look at what has popped up in the past 7 days on Kickstarter. First one we got here is the Inverse playing cards, printed by Cartamundi. So I know this deck has been in the works for a while. I know it's been teased on Instagram for at least a couple months now, so it's good to see this finally launch. I actually like the coloring on this deck a lot before we even get too much into it, but I think it's a good looking colorway. That black and that like really vibrant like bright blue, pretty cool. This is created by MZ Collaborative Studio. This is going to be their first project. What are we looking at here? Printed by Cartamundi, Slimline B9 stock, so good cards right there. Definitely going to be a nice handling deck. Just based on the design, I'm guessing this is more cardistry focused. Yeah, especially with those faces, you're definitely not going to be getting magicians who want to use this. It's actually a little bit interesting to see the color pattern for the courts. So that's like the Jack of Clubs or Spades there. I can't really tell just based on the image, but it looks like spades. Same with here's the Ace of Spades. Definitely a unique deck. Even looks like it might be a little tough to even play poker with this, but again,
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to do anything but cardistry with this.
Yeah, 100% a cardistry deck. Listen, I like the colorway. Like I said, this is actually not a bad-looking deck. Coming in at $13 for an early bird plus $10 shipping. Again, I know this is a European-based campaign, so you're going to be looking at higher shipping for the US. A lot of times one of the responses we get for this videos is, now you know what it feels like for most Europeans who are buying into US campaigns. So $10, while uncomfortable, is not unheard of. $23, though, for a relatively standard deck is a little bit too much for me to bite off there. And you'd be looking at $25 after those last early birds run out. What's up?
What's that EI thing? What is that?
So the name of the deck, I believe, is Inverse. So
what's the IE has to do with it?
Well, I'm assuming the letters at the beginning and the end. It looks like some sort of like inverted text right there on the tuck. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see anything that necessarily points to the IE having any special meaning other than a design element, to be honest. So
yeah, so we've got a custom wooden deck box.
Yeah. Also being
Ukrainian local post office usually takes 2 weeks.
So that's definitely one area on this that I would say is a bit of a warning flag for me. Self-fulfillment. Self-fulfillment on a first project coming out of a foreign post office. If this was going to be through one of the European fulfillment centers, I'd feel a little more comfortable on it. That's tough. You know, depending on how much this funds, you're going to be doing a lot of legwork to fulfill this yourself. maybe.
The fact that it's
Okay.
going to be done in August is surprising to me too. That's pretty quick.
Yeah. I guess a lot of it depends on how quickly Cartamundi, can actually get this done. Again, this deck has been in
Yeah,
the works
go
for a
up to the
long time.
top. When does this end? 30 days?
Yeah, 30 days.
That's the middle of June. I highly doubt that you're going to have this deck by August. Highly doubt.
It also depends, though, if you think about how far along in the process they could be. Like I said, this deck has been in the works for a couple months now. It very well could be that they've already reached out to Cartamundi, gone through the proof process, done all of that with a ready-to-be-signed contract and good to go, but who knows?
You can't, as far as I know, I may be wrong, but as far as I know, you can't go forward unless you've,
Got your contract signed.
yeah.
So,
So I just don't see it fulfilling in August, but what do I know?
so
That's just my,
again, though, too, and depending on where these prototypes are from, these could be Cartamundi prototypes already. It could be that this is relatively far in the process. I mean, we don't know. That's one thing that, yeah.
I mean, I look at it this way. If they're done already, like, and they're just doing a Kickstarter campaign, then they'd be delivered before August. So I don't think they're farther along. You can't be farther along unless they've already paid.
Yeah.
And but
It could be they already paid. It could be that they did a down payment of sorts. I'm not exactly sure. That being said, though, definitely some design element. I mean, listen, I like the look of the deck. I think it actually will fan really nice. I like the cardistry inspired aspect of it. But yeah, definitely the self-fulfillment and shipping on it kind of puts it out of a price range that I'd be willing to back. So,
yeah, for sure.
all right. Next up, we have the Composer's Playing Cards, which is the third in the series. This is, I think, what was the first? The first was the Beethoven deck. Second was the Mozart deck, and now we have the Sebastian Bach deck. These are definitely collectors oriented decks. They're really nice looking. The art's really well done. Yeah, there we go. Beethoven, Mozart, Bach. Chopin is next. Brahms. Yeah. I mean, listen, I think the idea of like the 7-set deck and the way they're putting this all together is really cool. If this is your thing and you're really about the art side of the decks, these are beautifully done. I want to say the printing on this is Legends, just based on the last one, but I can't remember now, so we'll have to take a look here. Also, reasonably priced. Again, take a look at this. Like, this is an $11 deck, 18 shipped. We just saw a fully custom, but not very, like, fancifully done deck for 25, 23 early bird, 25 shipped. This thing is going to be 22 shipped, and I think this is definitely more in the realm of further along from a customization point of view,
Yeah, the last deck was printed at NPCC.
Oh, NPCC? Okay. So it may end up being that they're sticking with NPCC for this. I do like that they have the little, like, the coin card add-on, and they have some interesting, like, little touches for this whole series. To me, though, I find where it falls short is the back. The back's a little lackluster for me. To be very honest, I think it's just, I don't know. It does not to say that it doesn't look good. It definitely looks good, but it doesn't tie in the theme of like musical composers to me. It's just very like, okay, here's the design. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do like the extra touches they do though with the luxury boxes. I think the letterpress work and the printing work they do with these are really spectacular. The wooden boxes are still also pretty neat as well, all laser engraved. So
yeah, I mean it's pretty much just a recolor, to be honest, as far as I know.
I think they changed the ports.
Yeah, go up. There's go down. So there's Chopin.
Yeah.
And go down.
Brahms.
Yeah, see the
the backs are just recolors. I do think they changed the quartz though.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But the backs are just recolors.
Yeah, so at least there's some consistency across the series. Just again, not really my style because I don't think it necessarily ties in the theme of musicians. Like I think they could have probably done a really cool and still fanciful and scroll work oriented music, like music notes tying into it, things like that. But not a bad looking deck. And again, the price point for it is relatively reasonable, though that NPC aspect of it, if that's confirm the NPC. If they went with NPC for the printing, though, too, your handling's obviously going to take a hit there. So yeah, NPC.
Yeah, MPCC.
Yeah, NPCC for it. And collaborated with Josh at Byworthy, who's an awesome dude. I know he's been getting into a lot more work with some of these campaigns. So very cool. All right, what do we got up next? Next, we have Cosmic Exploration playing cards. This is an interesting one. It's always fun to see some of the decks that we haven't seen make a big social media kind of impact. I think that's such an important part to a lot of these campaigns that not doing it can be detrimental ultimately, unless you get a lot of people who are just kind of up on their Kickstarter. Looks like this just started the other day. 44 days to go left on it. 5,000 gold, not too bad. Interesting deck. I'll tell you flat out, not my style. But I do kind of like the cartoonish kind of renderings of space on it. If you're into space, this is definitely probably a cool deck for you. $15 a deck though.
Yeah, not my style.
Now, because it's definitely like a 3D render look to it, which isn't bad, but yeah, just like the tuck looks very strange. Like, listen, it very well could be someone's style. I don't think from a Kickstarter point of view this is too bad price point wise. I think a lot of it's going to depend though to where it's actually being printed. So, what do we have here? Postage and fees. Yeah, no indication of where it's being printed.
Wait, what's that say? Printed of the decks, expected ship date is November 2020 or earlier. Remember postage in addition to your pledge. Please note for addresses outside the U.S., you, the pledger, are responsible for all custom and import fees.
Yeah, I mean that's relatively standard. So,
yeah,
yeah, $8 shipping within the U.S. Not too bad, but again, it bumps it up to
for one deck.
For one deck. Yeah, so
that's a lot.
I mean, again, though, it depends on where it's coming out of.
It's coming in the U.S. It's from the U.S., right?
Yeah, it looks like it. So
yeah, I mean, because it says rewards will be shipped to pledges as soon as possible. Remember, postage is in addition to your pledge. Please note for addresses outside the U.S. Yeah, see.
But that's the thing though. It's splitting the shipping across all of it. So for a half brick, it's also $8. So I think to some extent that makes sense if you're trying to recomp and shift some of the shipping costs from the higher end tiers to the lower end tiers. It is what it is.
I mean, $8 for a brick is that's about right.
$8 for half a brick, 15 for a full brick. So
yeah, that's double of what it normally costs. It should be only about $9 for a brick.
But again, though, it depends on who's fulfilling it. It could be added cost there to it. Either way, pricey for a single deck. So, and with an unknown printer. Next up we have Dark Kingdom. So printed by Cartamundi. I've seen this actually on Instagram for a couple probably weeks now. Definitely got a lot of good hype built up before the initial launch. I think this is a solid looking deck. Probably not your style, Steve, but definitely my style. I do like the look of the deck. Talks immediately out the gate about fulfillment. So you got Cartamundi printing, 52 Wonders, and Gambler's Warehouse in the US going to be fulfilling. Dude, I think it's a good looking deck. I think it's got a very nice looking design to it. Very fantasy oriented, which is cool. Talks about the inspiration. It really is like a very ornate deck, which I do like about it. I think there's a lot of I like the black and white. I like the black and white carried across, and really only the variation being in the indexes and the pips. It kind of plus these little like accents there. It really makes it a clean looking deck. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think from price point of oof, but that gets to be expensive there though. You're looking at almost $21 shipped, so that's definitely a pricey deck. But taking a look at it through the whole thing, you're really gonna see that you're probably at yeah, as you get higher, maybe the shipping gets a little bit better there, but let's see. United States. That's the European one, that's why. So Yeah, that's gonna be a little bit. I'll cut and edit that. We'll just keep running. But yeah, with your European shipping, you're definitely gonna be at a little bit of a higher price point there. Not
Yeah.
terrible in the US. It looks like actually, yeah, free shipping in the US, which isn't too bad.
How much is the deck again? $21?
Yeah,
What the fuck? You
yeah,
kidding me? $21.
yeah,
That's including free shipping, but like, man,
yeah. And you
is
look
there
at
any
a
foil or anything?
um. Looks like there could be some foiling on the tuck there. Let me see if I can get to add-ons. I also don't see any. Is there stretch goals? Funded, free sticker, secret that don't. Okay. Not exactly. I'll be very honest with this, and I've seen this recently a lot. Be clearly defined in your stretch goals. At the end of the day, people don't care about things they don't know what they are. So if you want them to be excited and continue to pledge for a stretch goal, you need to articulate what it is. You can't say find out later because later's not going to come. Uh
So all the cards are free hand drawings, unique custom, free shipping in Germany, free shipping in the US, 1 to 2 decks. Okay.
yeah, I don't see any
So
mention of the yeah, nothing about foil or embossing. So, looks like
so
a
if
relatively
you
standard
how much is it for 3 decks? Let's look. So it's $42 for
40,
3 decks,
40,
$46.
46 for 3 decks, yeah.
And how much shipping? Because 1 to 2 decks, $49 for 3 decks.
No, 53. That's in the euros there. So
Oh, right.
53
So
for three
53.
decks. Yeah. That's a lot. So what's 6 decks looking like? Yeah, that puts it at a high price point there. Again, I'm curious
How
about
much is
what
that amount? What is that US for six decks?
89.
That's 89 bucks shipped for
Yeah,
6 decks.
for 6 decks.
Yeah, I mean that's almost 15 bucks a deck. But you got to buy six to get that price.
Yeah. So I mean at that point you're reasonable ish, but yeah, you're really
Yeah,
going to be
but to get reasonable, it needs to be 6 decks.
So you're only looking at 17 for two because of the free shipping. That single deck point though is crazy. $21 for a single deck is I mean, you know what though, if the goal is to force people away from a single deck into getting 2, 3 or more, maybe a good tactic. I guess we'll see how it goes. But
Yeah. What is it at right now?
it is at let's see. 3,600. So more than halfway there.
Yeah.
So not too bad in 3 days.
Hey, I mean, good luck to him.
Yeah. So this is also an interesting example of a campaign being run by the fulfillment, which I know is a service that a lot of them run, but I think adds another associated cost with it. You know,
I mean,
so
what does and friends mean?
well, because it's not them designing the deck, so they can't claim to be the creator.
Is a producer, seller, and global distributor. Yeah, but like, who created the deck? Does it say?
Yeah. Her name is there. You go, Izad. So
Oh, Izad did it. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, this is probably similar to like when Riffle Shuffle does their Riffle Shuffle creator or not creators,
Yeah.
creator space. Yeah. So same deal, but
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a lot.
it is a lot. So I mean, listen, if you like the deck and you want to get three, you can get a reasonable price, but 21 for a single deck's a little bit hard to bite off.
It's crazy.
The
Especially not if it doesn't have foil or gilding.
yeah. So the high deck. This actually, I like the colors on this. That kind of muted navies and reds and yellows. Uh, it's an interesting looking deck.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Again, though, these prices are $30. All right, so first time creator clearly at $30 a deck.
It's a cool deck. That's the problem
Yeah.
is, first of all, the details. Where go up right there. Right. Smooth black. So it's probably printed in Germany. 310 GSM smooth black cord playing cardboard.
Yeah. So
Whatever.
yeah, I mean the bummer about this is it's a good looking deck. This would actually probably do really well had the pre-research gone into it.
Yeah, it's a cool deck. I dig it. What's the goal on it?
The goal on it is twenty
I
seven
mean, that's
23. That's not too bad. I mean, this very well with
so. I mean,
this.
it might fund just because it's well, I'm yeah. I mean, just because it's cheap, like
Yeah,
funding. He can buy into it, but that's expensive.
dude, you have $30 for. The weird thing is though too, plus a print. That's why. Yeah. So if you wanted a deck plus a print, 36. Yeah, that's just a lot. What is and where's two cards at? 48. So the more you get, it's lowering your price point, but like at,
48, dude. That's $50 for two decks.
yeah.
Two decks that cost $4 to make.
So no, so it's lowering the price point, but again, it's not getting to a reasonable point. I mean, you're looking at 186 for a brick. Yeah, pass. Easy pass. So,
Easy pass.
Exodus playing cards.
These are my people. Star David.
This is so yeah, this is what's this though? Yeah, custom playing cards inspired by the Book of Exodus. I like the art. I think it looks pretty good. Honestly, kind of has a little bit of a third way vibe to it right there.
I can see that. Cartamundi.
Yeah. Shipment estimated to begin in September.
That's more realistic.
B9 finish. Doesn't mention the slim stock, so probably the traditional like thicker stock, which still handles great. If you're, this doesn't look like it's made to be like a cardistry deck or anything where the slim line's gonna matter. Um, Double backed card, reveals on the card and tuck box. They definitely have a magician in mind here, which I think is cool because it isn't necessarily a standard deck and one I would consider for a magician usually, but it looks like they're building in those little touches for a magician, which is nice. I like the back. I like the simplicity
Big,
of
chunky
it.
border, big border.
Yeah, thicker border. Yeah, I like that, and yeah, they even have it colored there. The olive color on it leads me to believe that this may be a series of recolors, but at some point, depending on the success of it. But yeah, I think this looks interesting. It's definitely got some potential to it. I like the aces. The artwork is really spot on. It's got a reasonable printer with it. Yeah, dude. Not a bad looking deck.
Yeah, I think it's a cool looking deck.
Yeah.
How much is it?
Early bird is $11 plus shipping, so it comes up to 21 shipped. Normally it would be 23 shipped. Again, though, European campaign, so we're getting hit a little bit with the European ship prices there. But out of all of them we've seen so far, what are we looking at here? 34 shipped for 2. So again, you're looking at a better deal as you pick up more. 50 for 3.
Right.
Yeah, not bad. I like the colorway. I think it actually looks spectacular. That olive back and the plain white, not too much color, but very, very good looking, very clean.
Is that is that the Joker where it has like the 12 plagues? Is that what that is?
No, so that was oddly enough, that was a 10.
Oh, that was the 10?
Yeah, 10 of spades.
Oh, what are those? Yeah, what is that?
Those are supposed to be the pips.
Not the
but
no, but it's not the
yeah, all the
plagues.
10 plagues represented as the 10 pips on its face.
Oh, it does have the 10 plagues.
Yeah, but it's only that one. So all the rest have standard or stylized but relatively recognizable pips. So
right.
Yeah. So yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Because I forgot to mention it, make sure to stick around till the end to see which ones we would pick for the week. So
that's it.
Looks like we got the last last one here is this Infinite Rule luxury playing cards.
Looks like a bicycle deck.
It does. But if you take a look here, you can already see a little bit of embossing on the tuck. Hopefully that's not just the render. Looking for $15,000, so a little pricey for a first creator, but let's see what we got here. This isn't too bad looking, man. I mean, I think out of everything we've seen today,
USPCC.
gold metallic foil,
Metallic,
Bordeaux paper stock. Oh, this is for the tuck, okay. Yeah, some nice embossing.
how much is it?
It is $15 plus shipping.
That's not bad.
So $20 shipped.
It's not bad.
And it comes down to 33 for 2. That's really not bad for an embossed tuck and a nicely done full custom deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the custom pip work as well. It's easily recognizable while still adding a nice little custom touch to it.
It'd be cool if they were metallic ink. It would look cool. It reminds me of the avant-garde style.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Let's see what we have
The
here.
colors.
See, I like those jokers too. To print, oh no, so there you go. To print metallic ink on the card backs and the faces adds to production costs, which is why yeah. So yeah, he's doing Metalux on the backs. So there you go. And on the faces actually. So these renders don't show up, but so all of those quartz, I guess, probably the line work and the gold, I'd assume, would be the metallic.
It's going to be Metalux or metallic ink. Two different
so metallic ink.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the Metalux is the foil on the back.
That's cool. Yeah, good. It's gonna look nice.
Yeah, not bad looking. That is a little bit of a lofty goal, but hopefully it gets some momentum behind it. The other thing that, what do we have here? Stretch goals, custom brick box.
I like that. The gray color is kind of cool.
So this is kind of, yeah, this is another stretch goal is going to be a recolor to black and silver versus gold. So, yeah, metallic ink on the back. This is a good looking deck. I'd be interested to see how well the pins do. That was something I was talking about to someone the other day where you don't see a lot of pins in the playing card community as add-ons, and I don't know how people feel about them. I'm actually genuinely curious, so if anyone wants to leave comments below whether or not they would buy pins as an add-on, feel free to let us know.
Yeah, I think it's just select people that would wear them.
Yeah, right? That's a big goal for custom brick boxes though. 50 grand.
Yeah, good
and
luck with
25 for the silver white. I mean, listen, for a metallic ink embossed tuck on a good-looking deck for $20, that's a deal. Absolutely a deal.
$20 ship.
$20, yeah, that's absolutely a deal. The one thing though I do have to say is we haven't, like, this is the first time I'm seeing this deck. I have not seen anything about it on Instagram or social media. Maybe I just didn't look.
Has he click on the back? He's backed 67 campaigns. I wonder if any of them are decks, or if he's just
my private profile. So we will not know.
Interesting.
Yes. But
what kind of secrets are you keeping, Andy?
Maybe he just doesn't want to show it. I don't know. But
I'll have to go see him. He's in Oakland. It's pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be curious, dude. There's some community activity or comment activity on the question on here. Yeah, I'm curious to see. We might have to take a look and see if he is on Instagram or any social media, because I think there you go, Facebook and Twitter. Oh, that's for sharing. Ignore me there. Yeah, because I think honestly that last bit of drive here to get this thing to continue going, it's at 39 days. I'm assuming this was probably a 45-day campaign. 6 days in, raised $5,000, not bad. But it's definitely going to need that momentum to continue if it wants to hit the goal, let alone hit any of the stretch goals. I like the deck.
Right.
Out of all the decks we saw this week, I'd say this is a top 3 for sure. Steve, which decks would you back this week?
I'd rock the Exodus deck. Go down.
Exodus. Oh, yeah. I figured you'd rock the Exodus deck. It's a nice looking deck.
That's probably it. I mean, I like the blue high card, but that thing's expensive as F.
Yeah, and being an unknown Was that an unknown printer on that one too? But yeah, it's just way too much money.
I mean, I don't care if it's printed by
Yeah, it's still not
USPTC.
a
It's too
$30
expensive.
deck. I personally,
I
yeah,
think Infinity is like the only one I would buy.
yeah,
I mean,
Exodus, yeah.
Exodus. Yeah.
I mean, listen, a couple of these caught my eye, but the price point's definitely a little bit of a sticking point for me. I like the inverse cards. I've liked them since they hit the scene, just because I like the blue. I'll definitely back Dark Kingdom.
Those are even expensive though.
Yeah, no, they were. But again, European shipping, there it is what it is. The Dark Kingdom I like. I definitely like the Exodus, and I like the Infinite Rule. But yeah, the price points at a lot of these were just significantly off this week, which was a little bit surprising. So, one thing to keep in mind, think about where your shipping's going, how much your ultimate deck cost is, because something that is a good deck could end up being a $30 deck, and that's hard to justify in a lot of people who are, buying a lot of decks. $30 is a high price point for your first creation on a single deck. So, cool. Yeah. Definitely a little bit less of an exciting week than I had expected after last week, but definitely worthwhile to see some of these. Hopefully everyone funds well. And again, make sure to hit up social media. Make sure to get the word out there about your decks when you're trying to get these funded. And also make sure to really think through your stretch goals. I think that's the one thing that was really lacking this week, is either clear indication of what your stretch goals were or stretch goals at all. Stretch goals help keep the funding going, so think about them, put them in, even if it's only one or two, and make sure they're clear. No one cares about a surprise stretch goal unless it's your like 9th stretch goal. So
yeah, and just do your homework. Like, do the work before you go live. I know it's exciting, and I know you're excited to just get it up there and see what happens, but just do the work and get it right, so you don't have to keep trying.
Yeah. So thanks everyone for checking out the video. Before we sign off here, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and tune in next week for another Deckin Around Kickstarter edition.